and welcome to another amazing, exciting episode of Career Chronicles, where we bring you face-to-face with different industries, different workplaces, and of course the phenomenal individuals that drive them behind them. My name is Poiyah Media and I will be your host for this episode. And of course we have a lot of exciting content, a lot of informative content, and we can't wait to bring you closer to your career dream and destination. With that said, without any further ado, check this out. Viewers, we are back in studio for our Spotlight segment, where we of course bring you face to face with someone that is very, very inspirational in the industry that they're in. So with that said, I am sitting with the powerhouse that is behind Poiyah Media, Ilke Platt. Thank you so much for joining us on Career Chronicles.
Well, thank you very much. I was going to look back and say, where's this Ilke at? Where's this powerhouse? And job well done to you too.
Thank you. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling
great.
to be on Career Chronicles and really showing your journey?
No, I think it's great, and we've all not arrived yet. It's still that journey. I think it's a level of the journey, and when you have overcome a couple of obstacles, it's sharing it so somebody doesn't make the same mistake that's in the same industry, so we can help each other out.
Yes.
So thank you for having me.
Of course. So I'm sure our viewers have so many questions, and we are going to get into so much. But of course, we have to start this with where your journey all began. Where did your journey start in the media landscape?
Yeah.
How did you find this passion, and how did you start?
By accident is how I found it. So in 2003, started off with, radio, but that was because of a drama on radio. It was all about me going to Hollywood. So that's where the inspiration came. I love drama, acting, and then it went into music, entertainment, and then from there television, after television, and then the next best thing was PR. Corporate industry, and then now here I am running my own public relations communications agency.
Wow, this was a lot. You actually mentioned a few things that are in media, so it's really all been like broadcasting. You've also now tapped into the communications aspect. Can you tell us, how was your schooling journey? Like, what was your favorite subject? How did you get to communications?
I love drama. I was a straight A student in drama. Always selected for the main leads. So growing up in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Fairview German Language School, relocated back here, then went to WIS International School, matriculated, and have been at the University of Namibia ever since, and still there. So with educational background, it was from drama, having my major in that, but in media itself.
Amazing. And so on that, can you tell us, how was your journey venturing into entrepreneurship now? So you're done with school, you found that, hey, I'm interested in this is something that I can do. How was now taking that leap of entrepreneurship? Because of course you've had your previous positions at companies like you mentioned, you had your radio thing going, you got into communications, but now where did you know that actually I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to start my own thing?
And again, happened by mistake. It wasn't like I really want to jump boat. I never thought, hey, let me do entrepreneurship. Never. Because growing up, it's about studying, getting up the corporate ladder. You go higher and higher, and working for someone. So I never planned it. I think it happened. I think entrepreneurship chose me. Was it the easiest? No. Is it still not easy? We're gradually getting there, but being smarter with what we did 7 years ago to now. So I think it's been a whole challenge emotionally, physically. It's been a whole spiritual journey. Oh my goodness, when you have nothing, to your name, it's by saying, I need to make it work, but also growing as an individual.
Wow, that is so inspirational. I know our viewers are already picking up so much. And just on that, what skills do you think are needed to be able to thrive in the media space? Like, if you were to tell an aspiring person that wants to be a communications practitioner or just venture into the media space, what do you think are the key things to look at in that career?
Well, number one, you need to be good at communicating, And there's a difference. Not everybody needs to be an extrovert. Not everybody needs to be loud. It's by making sure that you know your information so well, be convincing. When you in these pitch elevators, sessions that they do for those seeking investment, you need to be able to sell yourself, sell the product. So if somebody sees me sitting here, I should have done it for myself. You know, somebody who's never made their first million can't be telling me about how to make your first million.
Exactly.
Somebody who is probably not a CEO telling you how to be a CEO. You need to make sure that you have walked the journey as well, and being able to pick up these practical skills. You need to do things. Number 3, you need to network. Our industry is about stakeholder relations, meeting up, you know, with various, even media partners, clients that we have. And I think in general, you need to have a passion for people. PR, public relations, you need to have that relationship with the people and enjoy what you're doing. I think PR is one of the funnest things. You know, one day you can be running around doing events management, another day you can be doing strategies, doing proposals. So every day is not the same. So you need to have thick skin in the industry. With media, there's a lot of everybody has something to say about you and your work.
100%.
So you need to develop that character building by saying, hey man, this is a character building day for me today.
Wow, so many tips and tricks.
Yeah.
But now you mentioned a very, very essential part of now being in the media, that is damage control and being able to really maintain a good public image. Can you give us a little bit of insight on how you managed to navigate your way around that?
PR crisis management plan. That's rule 101.
Wow.
It's transparency, being authentic, and sometimes in the media, if you own up to something that is really, really bad, I think the public would much rather have somebody saying, forgive me, we did something wrong, than they call it a PR spin, where you try to cover the truth. So never do that as well. And making sure, especially from an agency point of view, if you take on a client, make sure that things are ethical. Make sure that things are really what they say it is. If I were to promote your beautiful jacket, it should feel comfortable. It should look corporate. You can't sell something that's really not living up to the brand promise. So with the PR crisis communication, we should also understand who is that person that speaks out about the matter, what hierarchy, what protocol. We've been dealing with clients from SMEs to government offices. So what is that structure, and also being consistent with the messaging. I think many times with people that face a crisis, because of the crisis mode, you don't know how to say things, when to say things, and where to say things. So yes, study all of this, but you have to be in a crisis to be able to, you know, take the bull by the horns.
100%. And I love that you touched on ethics, because that is so important in this industry. So now on that, we really want to know, Poiyah Media, wow, started by a woman. It's a good powerhouse and a good example to look up to for someone that is so passionate about media and has been in the industry for so long, starting your own brand, employing all of these people, and being a CEO. How does that feel?
At the end of the day, it's not about titles. You know, it's about, if I'm on this journey, who do I bring along with me? Empowering students, third year, final year students, being able for Poiyah Media to give a reference letter for a big corporate, and people understanding the power that Poiyah Media has to groom and nurture just a graduate, and that's bridging the gap. How do the students that have just graduated, how do they get employment? You know, it's those things that we identify the problem. So it's not only an Ilke Platt or a Poiyah Media, it's bringing along a journey of close to, or let's say over 200, 300 interns throughout the office, and having a 90% turnaround of those that are in a full-time job at the moment. So when you know the purpose, when you know what is behind the journey, that is the impact, and that is the wow feeling for me.
Wow. Speaking of wow feelings, that is so amazing that Poiyah Media is truly bringing these individuals into the workspace with so much experience and really seasoning the youth. So on that, do you have a specific big achievement that you've experienced through Poiyah Media, or a proud moment? I know for a lot of people, the business is like the baby. So when you really have those moments, it's a proud moment. What can you say has stood out for Poiyah Media?
Oh, there were many of those. God, I can't believe this is happening. You know, from owning your office space And I think that's a challenge for many startups, you know, finding office space for your team to work around. What are those overhead costs? I think my most recent announcement, soon to be shared in mainstream media, is being able to create officially a job for a full-time salary for someone.
Wow.
So 7 years ago was by saying that the cost and the clients aren't there. How are we smart? By helping the university, helping corporate, and us being that bridge.
Wow.
But ultimately saying that when we mentor the interns, we want to retain, we want to keep. So again, by God's grace, I think my biggest and recent milestone is being able to create job opportunities. Didn't happen 7 years ago. It took 7 years to set up a firm foundation, being able to afford the basics, and now, even if it means one by one for us, that's a big deal.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the hooray hurrah moment.
A full circle moment indeed. Now, Ilke, if you had the chance to speak to our viewers watching there, which is now the youth that are looking up to you and wanting to venture into this space, what would you say?
There's so many things. How much time we got? I'm kidding. I think my main takeaway message would be you need to know what it is that you want. I think in this industry, sometimes you place your value on online recognition. I think in the society that we live in, especially for the youth, we want instant gratification, right? If we look at the year for me, 23 years in the industry, it's a long time, right? And sometimes you think, maybe when I started off at UNM Radio, it was to bring me here at this point in time. Let's not look for shortcuts, because shortcuts give you a short lifespan on a shelf. With doing the basics, going through the pruning, going through the challenges, going through the scrutiny, that's part of having a brand that's consistent and having longevity. And I think that's really important. And not even just in the PR space, be it if it's law, be it if it's medical, be it whatever it may be, you need to know what it is that makes you happy. Like, I am so grateful that every day I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I choose the clients I want to work with. You know, I choose the projects I want to work with. And that leads to having a passion. So identify what is it that makes you happy every single morning. And we can't forget by saying, man, the man up there, he's your only favor. Like, if you do not ask him where you need to be, he will open the biggest doors for you. And that is the principle that I think many of the youngsters don't really get into that motion, because it's what can I do with my talent and where I've been. So I think that's the greatest lesson that I would encourage those getting into the job market.
Wow, that is so lovely, and we have had an amazing time here on the show with you. But last question is, what is the future of Poiyah Media, and what does the future look like for Ilke Platt?
That's a good question. We have our strategy in place, you know, for Poiyah Media, and again, it's creating more jobs. That's number one on the agenda. But you can't help other people if charity doesn't start at home.
Exactly.
But long-term wise, yes, getting more graduates in the field of our interest: PR, comms, media, communications, and also number two, developing the PR industry in this up, you know, held standard. How do we appreciate corporate PROs in the workspace? How do we ensure that our profession is relevant? When we look at AI, I get scared. Like, every day I look at my phone and I'm like, is this going to challenge my business model in the next 5-10 years? So again, relevance in terms of the digital arena. How are we already as Poiyah Media gearing ourselves up to? Also me, my private brand. Just 3 weeks ago, I hosted with an iRobot as a co-MC.
Whoa.
So again, how are you irreplaceable, but what makes you unique? And those are the things that we are waterproofing: the business model, a private brand equity. So maybe I should patent my voice and my imagery, because tomorrow we'll be having you sitting here virtually. So how do you upgrade yourself with the times that are evolving?
Wow, powerful, powerful, powerful. And unfortunately, viewers, that is all that we have for today. Thank you so much again for joining us on Career Chronicles, and we will catch you right after this break.
Good day. Greetings to everyone. My name is Lennon Solomon. I'm a general medical practitioner, or in short, as we say, GP. I'm based in Windhoek, and I'm fond about my work. I am committed to my work, and I love what I'm doing. Very interesting. I want to say my society played a very important role where I grew up, but in the negative, because nobody was excited about studying further and about achieving some great goals in their lives. And I decided for myself, I am not going to be the same. So from the beginning, I was determined to go high and to reach high and to work hard to make a great success of my life. And then also during my childhood years, I I can say I inspire myself in such a way that reading books, watching programs, listening to people, uh, listening to positive, motivational speakers, and that helped me a lot to make up my mind very early in my childhood years about what I want to become one day. Then another important people in my life was my grade 1 and 2 teachers, the same person, and then also my grade 11 and grade 12 science teacher. They kept on telling me they see something in me that I must use and make it a success, and they encouraged me from primary school years. I was encouraged to go into the medical profession. Okay. Of course, I have a very wide spectrum of illnesses or medical problems. But if I must sum up over the years and currently what is going on, I think infections is one of the most common problems that I see. Mostly viral infections, which includes flus and common colds and gastros and upper airway infections, very, very common. And the next one is that I didn't see when I started out in private practice is allergies. Allergies was never a very common problem, but nowadays uh, I hardly no day go by without me seeing at least 3 or 4 allergy patients per day. Other condition, which is actually a great concern, is the lifestyle illnesses that becomes more and more common. They include indigestion, hypertension, diabetes, dyslipidemia, cholesterol, high cholesterol problem, and obesity. Very common. And then the other one that is also featuring high is mental health conditions, which is quite a big concern. And I must tell you, I think it's just becoming more and more. Okay, I just said I can even give a percentage. Many days, 50 to 60% of all my patients that I see, they come with a mental health condition, but they don't present with that condition. They come with symptoms, what we call psychosomatic symptoms. They complain of a headache or a stomach ache or tiredness or dizziness or, strange symptoms. And then after examining them, you find out that there's no big medical condition that you could pick up. And then you come and you sit at the table and then you ask the client, listen, or the patient, um, I'm worried. There's something else going on in your health. Is there something that you want to talk about? And many times they burst out in tears, or they just come out with what is going on in their lives, and they speak out about their mental health condition. And as I say, it's becoming more and more common. And as a GP, as a general practitioner, you want to help everyone, including the mental health patients. So it is not just diagnosing a mental health condition and then refer them immediately, because there's many of them that can help themselves. So you speak with a person and you encourage that person, see, is there certain things that you can do, adjust, change, improve, to see if you can help yourself. and sometimes they get something, a short-term medication that will just help them to get over it and to work on it. And many times they need some help, referrals to therapists or even psychiatrists sometimes. Yeah. I think, and this is maybe surfacing in all disciplines and all fields, one of the big misconceptions that people has is that doctors, they are there to make money. They chose their profession to make money or to become rich or for the wealth of it. Well, I will not deny. Maybe this is very primary for some or in some people's case, but I want to tell the public out there, when you do this, what I'm doing, you do it because of your love for people. You want to care for people. You want to assist and you want to help people who are in need. And I think this is what is driving me. And this is a misconception out there that people don't see this every time, that doctors wants to do this because it's a heart. They want to do it from the heart. They want to see how they can serve people. And by the way, thinking about the pledge I made when I finished medicine, my studies, in our pledge we pledged, to society. We pledged to our profession that we will our main drive will be to help people. Our main drive will be to reach out to people in need, and we will stay pure, we will stay clean, and we will do our best, and we will sacrifice a lot in our lives to save people.
I'm Natalie Bezuidenhoudt. I'm a social worker and also the owner of Cornerstone Wellness Center. So what we do at Cornerstone Wellness Center is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a specialized field in the field of social work. We assist alcohol and drug addicts. That is basically what we are doing here at the center. I knew that there was a need. There was a growth in the demand for services, but there was no facility. The lack of facilities was actually the problem in Namibia. So that was something that I ventured into. 2013, I resigned from telecom, and then that is when I started at Cornerstone. I had specific things that I was looking for in a center. It had to be therapeutic. It had to be out of Windhoek. It had to be big enough for us to actually, grow as a center. I was looking for a mountain. That was one of the important things for me, so that the client can actually go and climb the mountain and just meditate on the mountain, or just have a quiet time, or just see things from a different angle or different point of view. And we've been here since 2013. And we are still standing. So we accommodate clients from the age of 18 years and older, both male and female, through our program, who is struggling with alcohol, drugs, and that also includes then any over-the-counter medication that clients also do get addicted to. So that is the focus area that we are basically focusing on. I would like Cornerstone to be the preferred center. I like competition. There are a lot of centers that are now in operation, but I would still like Cornerstone to be the preferred center. Don't even experiment with drugs. The challenge that we are having right now is that we don't really have facilities in Namibia for the youth. So they are really struggling. Our youth, they're having a lot of pressure, a lot of peer pressure with studies at school, making career choices and things like that. And some of them tend to make bad choices. But one thing that I can say is that there's always help. There's always someone that you can talk to. So if they are stuck maybe just speak to somebody and say, well, I have this problem, I need direction. Is there someone that I can talk to? Because that person will surely know of someone that they will be able to talk to. Office area, this is where I do my individual sessions, and then also family therapy. That is also one of the areas that we focus on when our clients are in our program. This is where we have our nurse. So we have a nurse on the premises day and night. And this is where she then examines, or basically just does the, the vitals of our clients every single day. So it's in the mornings and at night, and whenever the client is in need of seeing a medical nurse, then we have our nurse on the premises. Anna she's one of our lay counselors, but she's also the caretaker at the moment. And Joshua is also one of our lay counselors. This is the section where we basically accommodate our clients. They stay here on the premises for 28 days. This is a house, it's a normal house. So we try to keep the program as homely as possible. When our clients come in, we ask them to come in with a plant or a seedling. The idea is that they learn to take responsibility for something that has life in it. This is where we do our group work. We have our group work sessions here. We can accommodate a maximum of 8 clients. This is where they just have a lazy day, watching TV, reading. They play games, they build puzzles, they just relax in this area. This is the section where we actually accommodate our clients. Like I mentioned earlier, we accommodate a maximum of 4 clients. There are sharing rooms. We don't have clients who are sleeping alone in a room for various reasons. Also, we would like them to interact with each other, so we always give them someone that they can communicate with, especially at night when they struggle to sleep. Then they can at least have someone with them that they can talk to. Thank you, Career Chronicles, for hosting me today, if that's the right word to use. Yeah, and you can contact me. I'm Natalie, the social worker at Cornerstone Wellness Center. It doesn't necessarily have to be about alcohol and drugs. It can be about any other challenges that you are facing as a teenager. My office number is 061 261526. Thank you. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed this episode of Career Chronicles. We hope that you really, really paid attention and saw if you were interested in this certain career path, and of course, learned so much from this episode. Don't forget to catch us on our social media platforms. That is Careers Hub, and we will catch you right here, same place, same time, for more career greatness and bringing you closer to your future. But for me, your host Puguriatva, it's goodbye.